Those two clinicians thought he was still a paraphiliac, and they were right.
I kept stressing the risks.
You told the board how he played the role of someone trying to talk his buddy out of raping a woman, and had tears in his eyes.
He did. He finally understood how devastating rape is to a woman. He understood. At that moment, he understood.
And you told the board how he did exceptionally well in his empathy training, how he read the police reports about how upset his victims were, how he cried, how he sat down and wrote letters of apology to them all. Never mailed them, of course, but he did it. He did it.
He was sincere. His tears were real. I can't understand why he didn't pick up the phone and call me that day.
Because he's compulsively addicted to violent sex, and he's a sociopath, which those two clinicians managed to pick up in the space of 2 hours, as against your 500. And you sneered at their suggestion of direct behavioural deconditioning.
That just treats the symptoms. It doesn't get to the root cause.
There is no root cause in some childhood trauma. There's no evidence whatsoever that Scott had ever been molested or abused.
He hadn't. He was just born bad.
Nick!
The worst people are ever born with is a predisposition. No one is born bad.
No one? Oh, let's just qualify that a little, eh? Behavioural and Brain Sciences, Volume 18, Number 3. In every known culture, sociopaths comprise 3 to 4% of the male population. They're egocentric, aggressive, impulsive, and underneath a superficial veneer of sociability and charm, experience no love, shame, empathy, guilt or remorse. And the evidence shows that there is a strong genetic factor.
Some genetic influence.
Every twin study that's been done shows that up to half of it is.
The other half is what I use my professional skills to work on.
There are people who are born bad, or at least halfway bad, and he was one of them.
A predisposition is just that, Derek, a predisposition. Nothing is fixed in concrete by the gene.
If you had to live where we grew up, you'd realise why there was such a high chance Scott would go off the rails.
But don't give me that underprivileged garbage. Your brother was a sociopath who became heavily addicted to violent sex. He was a walking time bomb, and she let him back out on the streets.
What you can't admit, Lauren, is that you misdiagnosed, mistreated and misrepresented your patient.
And you were paid 500 times $80 to do it.
Scott had made considerable progress. Then he reverted, and I wasn't told.
Lauren, you ever going to accept any of the blame?
I've accepted a lot of blame, believe me.
Lauren, how many patients you treat have raped more than once, before they were 21? Just let me read you these statistics.
I know the statistics, Derek.
Well, then let me refresh your memory. If a rapist has offended against more than one victim, then the chance of any therapy working is 8 times less than if he'd offended against only one.
I was aware of that and knew it would make my work much harder.
If violence is an integral part of the rape, then the chances are that on subsequent rapes, the violence levels will escalate.
Yes.
No warning bells?
Loud warning bells.
In your own report, did you read his cynicism and antisocial scores on the MMPI? Did you read his levels on the attraction to sexual aggression scale?
Of course.
Very, very loud warning bells, I would have thought.
Yes, but I still refuse to believe that Scott was beyond help. I still refuse to believe it, and I did help him. But he reverted, and I should have been told. That's all I can say. And I'm more sorry than you can imagine about Donna, but I can't help you anymore here today.
They're saying things they